The U.S. men's national team just defeated the Reggae Boyz, Jamaica, 2-0. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Filippo, and welcome to TV. Today we have another episode of 7 Things We Learned, which we do every following day after the U.S. men's national team has played. So if you're new here, consider subscribing for that, or for the watch-alongs, or for whatever it is. Now for this game, there's not many complaints. Most of it is positive, including Greg, and hopefully he's satisfied with the verticality, as this is his new trending word. Now, there's a lot more than 7 things that we learned, so please comment down below, what did you learn from United States 2, Jamaica 0? I will be reading it, so will Dustin, and I want to learn from you. So what did you learn from USA 2 and Jamaica 0? Now you may be wondering, why am I holding the mic like this? Some people said the audio wasn't good, some said it was good, and then I read online that if you put it closer, the audio gets better. So I'm going to try it this way, that's why I'm holding it, and hopefully it does better. So let me know what you guys think of the audio. Hit that like button. On Sunday, we play Panama. We will be doing a preview. But with that said, hit the like button. Let's play the intro. Sit back, relax, and let's start lesson number 1. So, lesson number 1. And lesson number 1 is something we already learned in the last camp, essentially. And it's essentially Brenden Aarosson's evolution in the Austrian League. And it all has to do with how quick he makes his decision. Time and space are compressed there at the Austrian League, as he said it here in the channel himself. He came here on the channel, we had an interview with him, and he said time and space are compressed there. So he has to make quicker decisions, and that's been playing a huge role in his evolution. We've been seeing it with the U.S. men's national team. Now, this doesn't mean he always makes the best decision, and he will improve that. But Brenden has been much quicker in his decision making during his time in MLS, and maybe some Philadelphia Union fans can definitely confirm that. I love the evolution I'm seeing from Brenden Aaroson as a player. It's been absolutely fantastic. Now, the set piece duty in this game, when he took free kicks and corners, that wasn't too good. Besides that, Brenden was very good. I enjoy his evolution. Hopefully he continues to develop, and very soon he'll probably be in a better league. Now, lesson number 2, it has to do a lot with the last camp and essentially the first half of this camp, which the U.S. men's national team very often looks very mechanical, like a robot, like they're overcoached, too many instructions, almost like a video game, right? And that's not how it works. Players need creativity to express themselves and be fluid. So it very often seems like Greg maybe gives them too many instructions and overcoaches. That's something I noticed. Could be me speculating, but that's just something I've been noticing throughout the games. It was different in the second half, and I'm going to get to that very soon. So essentially the lesson here is, it seems like Greg often overcoaches. Which brings me to lesson number 3, which actually shows that Greg can be better with that. So lesson number 3 is that the players did express themselves in the second half. We saw players roaming more, being more creative, with more freedom. And we saw that a lot with Weston McKennie and Yunus Musah as the dual 8s in the second half, and Serginho Dest. The players seemed much more comfortable on doing whatever they wanted, being creative, expressing themselves, and that was a positive. Now, was it because of Greg? Was it just the players? I think Greg definitely played a role there. He probably gave them the freedom or the instructions. Do more of what you want. Not do what you want. There's obviously tactical patterns and things they have to follow, but he allowed them to be more free at the field. And we saw that, and that was one of the big reasons we evolved in the second half. So yes, lesson number 2 and 3 seem more like speculation. Maybe Greg wasn't even making them being this pragmatic. He wanted them to be expressive like this, and he just motivated them in the second half. But I do think there's some logic to what I'm saying. Okay, now lesson number 4. And to get to lesson number 4, we do need to remind everyone that we played on a 4-3-3 formation, which is Greg Berhalter's favorite formation, actually. And usually on that 4-3-3, we have a triangle in the midfield with a 6 and dual 8s ahead of the 6, right? So the 6 is the defensive midfielder, and the dual 8s are more responsible for bringing the ball to the attack, right? Scoring, assisting, creating plays. Now, the lesson here is, when you're playing with these dual 8s, you need dual 8s that can progress the ball forward and do incisive passings. And if you didn't see this in the game, I don't know when you can see it, because this was a perfect game to see this. We saw it with Yunus Musah, especially in the second half, right? The first goal, Yunus Musah progressing the play, and that happened several times throughout the game. Weston McKennie, which everyone's probably familiar with, several times. Luca de la Torre, when he came in with the incisive passings, putting away almost close near to a scoring position at one point. Now, these are things you don't see very often with players such as Roldan and Leggett. And this is not me criticizing these two players that didn't even play. It's just pointing out what other players can do and how much different the midfield is. For example, when we have Yunus Musa instead of Leggett, or when we have Weston McKennie, Yunus Musa, and Tyler Adams, or even Luca De La Torre, which was pretty good with his incisive passing and progressing the ball forward rather than passing it sideways all the time or backwards. There's the right time to pass it back. There's the right time to pass it back sideways. But you do need to pass it forward or progress the ball eventually. And these players did that. That's another lesson we learned. The dual eights need to be able to progress the ball forward and do incisive passing. Lesson number 5 is that experience, players with experience, is not BS. But here's the lesson. It is often used as a BS excuse. Let's go to the first goal. The first goal, we had Carved Up Dest with the assist, Yunus Musa with the build-up of the play, and Ricardo Pepi scoring. All players I just mentioned are U20 players, pretty much getting the first goal, which opened up the game for us and allowed us to create many more opportunities after Jamaica left out of the blow block. So all these players are U20, and they did it. Along with that, let's look at the second goal. It was Brendan Harrison's assist to Ricardo Pepi. Again, Brendan Harrison turns 21 this month, this October, and Ricardo Pepi is 18. Two young players again. So yes, experience is important. I'm not going to deny that. Very important. But it's very often used as a BS excuse. Joe Scally could have been here. Lesson number 6, which we probably know by now and we probably already knew beforehand, is Ricardo Pepi is our 9, at least for the time being. Yes, before it was just one performance against Honduras away. Now it's 2 performances already. And let's put it this way. The past 2 games, which were the only games Pepi played for the U.S. men's national team, he's been involved in every single goal. He was involved in the last 6 goals the U.S. men's national team scored. By involved, I mean he either scored, assisted, or was involved in the build-up play or whatever whatsoever. So he has 3 goals in 2 games and 6 goal involvements. The kid is doing amazing. He is our 9. Now, will he be world class? Only time will tell. But for the time being, he's our best 9, and he probably will be for a while. Great form, fantastic player. The talent is there. Ricardo Pepi going abroad is inevitable. It's going to happen very soon, probably in the January transfer window right away. We're probably going to get news in the next few weeks. Lesson number 7. It's something that we should have learned a while back. Let's not get too hyped with this performance. Overall, it was good. There's very few negatives, which I'm not going to talk about in this video. I talked about it in the live stream. But overall, it was very positive. But let's not get too hyped. Let's see if we can do this consistently. Let's see if Greg will continue to put lineups that are good, which this one, to be fair, there was 1 or 2 head scratches. Overall, it was very good. So let's not get too hyped. That's it. That's the lesson. Let's also remember that this was a very, very weak Jamaica team, missing Mikel Antonio, Leon Bailey, Ethan Pinnock, and they have a coach that is pretty much a gym teacher at this point, if not even worse. Oh, okay. Before I end the video, here's a bonus one, and hit the like button if you haven't already for this bonus one. This is lesson number 8. This is just a bonus for this specific video. CONCACAF refs are terrible. Actually, that's not even a bonus one. That's not a lesson. We already knew that. It's just a confirmation. All right, everyone. I want to thank you all very much for watching. Thank you, everyone that was in the stream. Hopefully, by now, you commented down below. What did you learn from United States 2, Jamaica 0? Now, after 4 hours streaming, a full day of work, recording at night at like 2 a.m. after watching the Panama game, after all this verticality all day, it's time for me to get horizontal, lay in bed, and sleep. Thank you for watching, everyone, and have a great day.